Okay, this is a quick tutorial about how to use your algebra tiles. I will show you with physical algebra tiles, and then I'll be showing you how it works in eTools. So what I have set up here is uh, well, I'm actually using an equation map, but we're going to forget that it's an equation map for right now, and we just have a dual-sided expression mat or comparison mat. So the problem that I'm modeling is this one right here, where I have some tiles on the left and then I have some tiles on the right that represent expressions. So my first one here, I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles that are positive in the positive, so their value would be positive 5. And then I have 3 red ones, which in the positive area, so that means they're negative. Down in the bottom in the negative zone, I have 2 that are negative, so I have negative of negative 2, and then I also have a negative 1. On the right side, in my positive area, I have 3 that are blue, so those are positive, and I have 2 that are red, so those are negative. So this would be a positive 3 and this would be a negative 2. In the bottom, in the negative area, I have 1 that is positive tile, so that's actually a negative 1. And then I have 3 that are negative already, so I have a negative of a negative 3. Now we've talked about different strategies all week about how we can simplify expressions on both sides of the mat by either taking out opposites. We can flip tiles from either the bottom to the top where we keep their same value but we change the way they look, or we can go from bottom to top. Then we've also talked about exchanging or taking out equal parts. So if I have something that's exactly the same on the left side as the right, they are equal to each other, so we would take those off. So looking at this now, one of the first strategies I like to use is to get everything up in the top in the positive zone. So everything that I have down here in the negative, I'm going to flip up to the top. So this blue, this is a negative 1, so I'm going to flip it to the red side in the positive area, and I still have a negative 1. This negative of a negative 2, I'm going to flip to the top, and I have now a positive 2, which is a negative of a negative. Same in this side, I'm going to take these 3 negative of a negative 3, and I'm going to flip them to the top, so now I have positive 3. And this negative 1, I'm going to flip to the top, and I still have negative 1. Now these tiles are easy to look at because they're all unit tiles, so they all have the same value. They're each worth 1. So now I'm going to look at things that are opposite of each other in the same area. So since everything is in the same positive area on this side, anything that's the opposite color makes a 0, or we take that out. So this is a set, this is a set, this is a set, and this is a set. So I've taken out all my zeros on the left-hand side. I'm going to do the same for my right. Well, these are opposites, and these are opposites. So now I'm left with 3 on this side and 3 on this side. So in this case, these expressions are equal to each other. If we wanted to take it one step further and use our last strategy of taking out equal parts, well, I have 3 parts here and I have 3 parts here, so those would be equal parts, so I could take those out. And again, I have nothing on each side of the mat, or 0 on each side of the mat, so this expression would be equal. If we want to look at how that looks in eTools, remember that is in your CPM book. So you have to open your ebook. Then you're going to go up here to the eTools. Most of these expressions or these problems, if we look in, I think it was in 2.1.6, they each, even sometimes in just the stuff we do together, they'll have a tool. And so if I click on this one, it's already going to have it built for me, so I don't even have to do that. So that's kind of the nice thing. So I'm just going to look at this one. If for some reason it doesn't, let me go back here real quick. You can go up to eTools, go to Tiles, and it's going to open it up in another tab. Then you can choose backgrounds. We're using expression mats or expression comparison mats actually right now. So let's use this one. And then you would use your algebra tiles to build your tiles or your expressions on both sides. But I'm going to go back to the one that's already been given to us. Since it's already built, it'll take me less time. So again, I'm going to think about my strategies. Well, I can see here, since it's both in the negative region, that both of these tiles, so this is a negative of a -1, or if I would flip it up, it would be a +1, and this is a -1. So these are opposites. So I'm just going to take those off right away. I also see up here in the positive region, I also have opposites. So I'm going to take those off. Now I still have some stuff down here in my negative area, and I want to put everything up here so I can just look straight across and compare. So I'm going to drag this across. I'm going to click on it to flip it over. Okay. Sometimes I like to just organize my tiles so they're nice and neat and I can tell what is what and where is where. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I can see on the left side I have -3 and on the right side I have -6. I could stop here with simplification because I already know that -3 is greater than -6. If I wanted to take it one step further and simplify it as much as I could to make my comparison, I could take off the things that are alike on both sides. Well, I have a negative and a negative. I have a -1 and another -1. And then I have this -1 and this -1. So completely simplified, I have 0 now on my left and -3 on my right, which still holds true that the left side is greater than the right. So I hope that clears up some confusion about just how to use your algebra tiles. We'll talk more about how to use the equation mat in class today.